I'm Courtney.
And I'm Emily. And this is
Cheers to That.
Yay!
Welcome back, finally.
Finally, after a beautiful break. Merry Christmas.
I know.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Happy Hanukkah and Happy New Year's tomorrow.
And happy Kwanzaa.
All of the holidays.
Happy
whatever else there
Diwali,
is.
I think, is starting now.
December.
Happy December, everybody. Happy, actually, coming to you live from 2025 in the future.
That's true.
It's still 2024 when we're recording this, but I did say we would come back in the new year, and I arbitrarily, I didn't even ask you, but I just said, season 2 coming, because I'm like, I think a good way to, mark our lives is, the new year, because that's easy.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to keep up with when we started, and so I think,
It was April. It'd be weird to just, randomly in April be
April,
now it's season 2, so I'm officially calling it now.
I love this. Okay.
This is season 2.
Of your podcast, where we talk weekly about motherhood, marriage, and everything in between. We celebrate all the highs and lows of our lives, and you guys get to join in.
Sometimes we giggle, sometimes we cackle, sometimes we sing, sometimes we dance.
You never know what's going to come.
Every time we're going to say dumb shit, and that's what we're here to do.
That's what podcasting is all about.
That's what the world wants from us, and that's what we're going to deliver to the world. Well, yeah, we haven't podcasted in 3 weeks, I think.
It feels wild. It's been a whirlwind of when we were going to record. So we did get a nice little break. And then, of course, whirlwind with holidays.
Yes.
And I don't know if this is such a thing, but I feel like I'm suffering from jet lag, except I didn't fly on a plane and I didn't cross over multiple time zones either.
But you did cross one state line.
I did cross a state line via car, and I'm dragging, but I'm here.
Well, you didn't go home until midnight, so give yourself some grace.
We arrived at 12:30 and then had to unpack the entire car once we got home.
Woof. And you have 2 children, and you came back with a dog.
I did, yes. So, okay, this is a fun fact, because I wanted to talk about this.
Such a fun fact.
Well, not a fun fact, I guess. This is a sad fact. But I was really struggling whenever I had Tucker. We had just moved into a new house that we also didn't have a backyard in, and my grandma graciously took Lila, our dog, for a little while. And by a little while, about a year.
Well, also I want to say, when you say you don't have a backyard, if I was listening to this and I didn't know, I'd think you lived in a jail cell. She lives on a golf course, so she doesn't have a fence. You do have a backyard. Some would say a massive backyard, since it is a golf course. You just don't have a fence, which makes it a little hard with a dog.
Yes.
And I mean, it's hard enough. Well, and you were working. Lila is a super anxious dog. She literally was shitting all over your house, peeing all over your house, because she was
and we had
so
just
anxious.
had new floors and new carpet put in, and
Tucker was little. I mean,
well, and I was gone for 10, 11 hours a day because I was working in person. And so coming back, to my grandma's house, she was just you could tell she missed the kids, and the kids were so excited. Tucker, all he says is dog. And so we brought her back with us, and now she's back a part of our family. Sorry, Lila, but here we are.
Well, and
we just took a little breaky break.
It's fine. Everyone needs space sometimes. I wish I could get a year off from Harper.
It's realistic. I mean, it's just that's what
it just is what it is. Yeah,
it is what it is.
I mean, I honestly, just being honest, didn't think she was ever coming back. So whenever you
told
me,
either. I actually put in my Goodwill pile her Furminator, and apparently I got rid of her dog bowls too.
I think I have extra if you need some.
I have some. My aunt gave me some.
I literally when you told me Lila was coming back, I said, "Do what?" I was shocked because
we were not
having a dog is such a nice.
It is because already coming back, I've got to get her vaccinated. I've got to take her to the groomers. Now, anytime we travel, I've got to board her. But seeing how happy my kids are, and they're older now.
Yeah.
And just
Addie
when Tucker was little, I said, Addie, I need you to know, you're going to have to help with Lila. But do you know what that means? She goes, yeah, I'm going to make sure she doesn't poop in my playroom. I said, well, let's start with you feeding her every night. That's your responsibility. So
it'll be getting back into the swing of it, but y'all will be fine. Plus, now
I'm excited.
We can do a little quid pro quo situation where I let Lila out, you let Harper out.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
and because what we bought is, because we do not have a fence, we bought a wireless perimeter, and all you have to do is buy an extra collar. If you ever want Harper to come over.
Oh, no, I'm not going to bring Harper over.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
No, not watching overnight. I mean, if you're out somewhere and you're now you have to worry again about we've been gone for 12 hours. We need to go let Lila out. I can go let her out. No. Harper, I would not make anyone watch Harper overnight. I mean,
like,
I'll watch Lila if you need me to, but like Harper.
Watch Harper. I would watch Harper now that we have a solution. It wasn't feasible with no fence. So
can I buy one of those collars for fielding?
Yeah, actually we need them for all of the kids. Like, it beeps on the first one, and then by the third try of them trying to escape, it'll shock them a little bit. So I mean,
I'm just saying, like,
it'll. Her arm,
my arm just fell away from me so sadly. Yeah, no, fielding needs to be shocked. Just like back into the stratosphere a couple times. You know what I'm saying?
I think sometimes a little shock does a little good.
I shocked myself with a dog collar last year.
Yeah, as an adult, yep. I remember as a kid having an electric fence at home, like because that's what you do on the farm, and we would always like dare each other to touch the electric fence, you know, and just get a little zap. Like.
Being electrocuted, did you ever have the people that would buy like the gum packets, and they would something about those?
Mm-hmm. I haven't forgotten them.
I haven't forgotten. I had
they are my arch nemesis still.
No, literally, I would have kids when I taught in person that got me a couple of times, and I was like, I'm going to fail you now.
Yeah.
Like
putting a 0 in the grade book.
I don't have much that I can do to retaliate, but you will not be passing this course. Hope you didn't want to graduate high school. Like, because getting shocked and it like reverberating your like nail beds.
And not expecting it. I just got chills.
Yeah, when I shocked myself on like max shock with the dog collar, like I was kind of expecting it, but you know, you never fully expect to get shocked in the neck.
Shot in the neck.
I'm 50 Cent now. Same.
You just never know what's gonna come. We are in.
Listen, we are in Houston.
Just never know.
Whatever. If you're wondering why I sound, I mean, like I already have a nasally voice. Like I am Squidward.
You have the voice of an angel. What are you talking about?
Thank you. If you're wondering why I sound even more nasally than usual, though, it's because I've been battling a sinus infection for a full week. I am producing the equivalent of like just a waterfall, maybe Niagara Falls of snot in my face. And I think this is timely since last time we talked about the eye blowing situation.
It is very timely.
It is because
I have the video saved on my phone.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Should I share it to our Instagram?
No. No.
So I have proof now though. And I believed you 1000%.
Yeah.
Seeing it and hearing about it are two different things.
Well, just to recap, last time we recorded, we were recapping about how I told Courtney that whenever I get really congested, like when I have sinus infections, I blow my nose and either air bubbles come out of my eye or sometimes, unfortunately, snot.
And I said, you should really go get that checked.
And I said, I'm good. So I was really...
This is normal.
Congested on Christmas. I came to your house on Christmas Eve. I knew it was just a sinus infection. I had like no fever, nothing like that.
Worried.
Yeah. And no one else has gotten sick. Fielding and I are just battling these infections, and Connor shares a bed with us and hasn't gotten sick. But I digress. So Christmas Day, I went to blow my nose, and I was like, that was the pinnacle of like so congested. And whenever I was blowing my nose, liquid like shot from my eye, and when I say shot, I mean like it went so like whenever you like
pop a really good pimple.
Yes,
you know,
very similar,
like straight out at the mirror.
Yes, similar vibes. And so then I thought to myself, record this and send it to your friends so they know. And I could have just sent it to you, but I wanted to send it to your husband as well. And my husband is also in our group Snapchat. We
all have to suffer.
Yeah. Like I have to feel this, so now everyone has to see it.
Yep.
And your words were, I can't unsee that. Why would you do this?
I mean, top 5 of the grossest things I've ever witnessed.
It's crazy. I didn't know if the video captured
incredible.
it. Well, I didn't know if the video captured it well enough because I was like, I don't know if I can super tell what's going on.
I feel like, though, this is a great thing for you to have under your belt, though, for whenever you have to do a stupid icebreaker and it says, what's your secret talent? And your secret talent is being able to blow snot from your eyeball.
That would be how I would
share that with everybody.
No, what I share with everyone is that I can sing with my mouth closed. That's my secret. That's my actual secret talent. But I do have just like I don't go necessarily into the medical exam that quickly, but maybe I should. It's never too early. So all that to say, Fielding and I have been sick. I thought it was going away. I stopped taking Sudafed prematurely, and now I'm back on the Sudafed grind. And so bear with me.
'Tis the freaking season.
I know. I was doing so well though, and I like literally told my mother-in-law 2 days before Christmas, like, I have not gotten a sinus infection this year. Like, not this whole year, but like in the fall. I always get like one in the fall, one in the spring. And I was like, I have not gotten one. Like, I think my life has finally turned around. And then I was humbled almost immediately.
That's the curse.
Well, we went to the zoo on Monday.
Yes, we did do that. That seems so long ago.
know,
so we
literally.
did a little family trip to the zoo because Tucker's had 20 celebrations for his birthday. But we wanted like some family time. So, of course, we invited y'all too.
Yeah. But you didn't even invite us. I said, oh, can we come with you?
And I, of course,
Yes.
yeah. But I had mentioned like we got that zoo membership, so we wanted to take advantage of it, especially with all the Christmas decorations up. And that was so fun. And the kids really liked it. And I feel like we stayed there just the right amount of time. And
we saw a baby elephant who's also named Tucker.
yes,
Literally so cute.
I know. Well, they have, I don't know what the brand new elephant's name is. I can't remember. But it was like a baby. And so
we didn't get to see
cute.
it?
No, that was the baby. Tucker is a different one. Tucker's like a middle-aged elephant.
I
he's
misunderstood
only a few
completely.
years old.
Oh, I thought it was so special because Tucker and this elephant were the same age.
Oh, no,
basically.
it was just special because it's like a new baby elephant.
Cool. I've been literally telling everyone that we saw a baby. Okay.
We did see Tucker, the elephant, at the zoo.
Have been like, and there's a baby elephant at the zoo named Tucker, and then also we brought Tucker, and he's also a baby. A moron. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like zoos make me sad because of captivity, but like when you see something as cute as a baby elephant, it's like, keep doing it, guys.
So I have mixed emotions on the zoo because I went through a time where I was just like sad every time I went to the zoo, and then now I see where pros and cons. They do rehabilitate some of the animals, but then the other ones that were pacing back and forth, they're just pacing, or the chimpanzees and the gorillas who are they're smarter than us. And then
Speak for yourself.
I mean,
whoa.
I thought they were smarter than humans.
Us is strong. Maybe smarter than one of us.
Whatever. Not even gonna argue. But it is sad because they just look so mad that they're like in captivity.
I just think we need to start giving them like cigarettes and beer. Like I think it was just, you know what I mean? Like
that's your solution to the zoo.
Like,
I thought you were gonna say we need to start putting them back out into the wild.
No, it's too late now. It's too late.
Cigarettes and beer.
No,
Noted.
like they just looked. There were a couple of chimpanzees. Is that what they are?
There's
orangutans, not gorillas, chimpanzees. I feel like is right. Yeah. Okay, so the big ones that look really close to people, and they were just sitting there. They looked like someone's weird uncle, like sitting on a porch, just like depressed, you know. And I'm like,
let's sulking. Their shoulders are bent over.
Yeah, just like get this guy a bush light. You know what I mean? Like he just looked.
That's true.
Like let them run a gas station.
Solve his problem with alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, I can picture them like running a gas station, like pumping, you know, like selling their wares.
They're mechanics on the side. They'll fix your car. Yeah. They'll change your oil.
They're doing really like low oil changes. I mean, I'm just saying like free idea zoos. You know,
they might launder money in there.
Turn it into a Jiffy Lube. Get your oil changed by a chimpanzee. I feel like they're upset because they want careers, not like high level careers. Yeah. But I think there's something there.
I'd like to know what PETA thinks about your idea. I think maybe they would be for it because
I've heard PETA endorse Marlboro Lights so hard.
and animal.
I'm gonna get a cease and desist from PETA from this one podcast. They're like, go ahead and shut up, guys. I know we could rehabilitate these animals. Hear me out. Let's
make them work.
Dehabilitate.
Make them work.
Make them work, and also like let them take a load off. I'd be bored as shit too if I'm just sitting there naked. People are staring at me. Like, let them run a pizza parlor.
Yeah, let them serve the people.
Yeah. I guess I'm saying more service things, but like I'm just thinking. I know they
need a purpose.
They need a purpose, and like intellect level, I'm thinking like entry level jobs. You know what I mean? Like I don't think
they need to go.
I don't think the chimpanzees are going to be doing my taxes.
They need to go bag groceries,
but I think they could bag my groceries, and I think they could probably like. I think they could change a tire.
1,000%.
That's what I'm saying. So let's bring the jobs back to the animals.
I agree. You know what? I'm on board.
You know
now.
what?
You talked me into it. All right.
One thing about me is I am persuasive with a dumb argument. Anyways, no, it was fun.
Anywho.
It was fun.
Back to
Fielding fell super hard at the zoo though, and I was like, did he break his arm? Because I'm the biggest freak.
Little bit of a hypochondriac.
I'm so scared all the time.
Yeah, and I was like, well, is he moving his arm? And you said yes.
But what if he was moving it and we didn't know it was broken?
I think you would know.
I'm really scared of broken bones, and I don't know why, because I've literally only ever broken my nose. on a Frisbee.
Yeah, and that was as an adult.
Yeah,
so
no, I was
even
a
as
grown
a
up.
kid.
I broke my Frisbee in my front yard of a house I owned. So
thanks, Troy.
yeah, shout out to Troy. Broke my nose with a Frisbee. It was my fault. I instigated it. I'm a battered nose woman. But yeah, so I don't know why that's such a fear of mine, but I'm so afraid of him having something wrong that I miss. Mm-hmm. I need to talk about this in therapy.
You know. He'll let you know.
I mean, what does the child not let me know?
Yeah.
He has been a ham and a half, and y'all have been gone, and so every day he's like, Addie, where are you? I'm like, she's not here. He's trying to make us go straight at the stop sign to go to your house. I'm like, no, they're not home.
Like, we're not going to be home. So yes, we were gone for a few days, 5 days. We were back in Oklahoma celebrating Christmas with our families back home. Mm-hmm. But it's funny because as soon as I woke up this morning, ripped down the Christmas tree, like my cleaners were coming. So it was like perfect timing because it always makes a big mess, like glitter everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, let's just go ahead and get this taken care of. And I'm hosting a Christmas on Saturday with my dad's side.
That was kind of crazy.
So I'm like, well, y'all are coming over.
That was kind of a crazy choice. Being that you're hosting a Christmas party.
Yeah, I thought about that like after I was halfway done with the tree. So
I think today or tomorrow was the day. I may take my tree down after this.
I needed my house a fresh slate, which speaking of, we wanted to talk about, it's no surprises. You're like, oh God, what's happening?
I know, but everything's a surprise when you have a bad memory.
Speaking of was, we were going to talk about like, what are our goals for this year? That kind of leads me into like a fresh slate.
You literally told me we were going to do this and I haven't given it a single thought, but I'm going to workshop it.
I got you.
As we go.
I got you.
You go first.
Well, I kind of wanted to recap on this past year.
Yeah.
So I had like a few things. I'd put it in the notes on my phone, and I think that's the easiest to like keep up with.
I agree.
Did I revisit them mid-year? No. But like I could look at them now and see. And I feel like this past year I did a lot of focusing like on myself. And obviously my kids, trust me, they were taken care of. But like as far as I started going to my holistic doctor, I started therapy, and finally found somebody that like I like and I'll like keep going back to because I've done therapy before.
I'm gonna keep finding new things to invent so that I keep coming to her. She's like, don't worry, bitch. We're not even anywhere close. No, literally.
I'm like, so when do we get to present day issues? Because so, I mean, therapy, like those things I'll still stick with. And then I really got into like a workout regimen. Like, I mean, I've always been into working out, but like using the Cat G Fitness app, like very consistently. So I feel like I've poured into myself, and I feel like this year is time to pour into like my family more, because I needed a better grasp. Having two was a big shift for me. And I've heard people say, oh, it's easier having two.
1 to
like
2 than 0
1 to 2 or 0 to 1. 1 to 2 was really hard for me. And so I feel like I needed that. But then this year, so TikTok influenced me because it easily influences me on everything. I mean, now I believe in aliens. Like, you know, like TikTok, I see one video, I'm like, oh, that okay, I'm on board.
At least you're self-aware. That's okay.
And so I'm going into 2025 with the intention of having a low spend year. So that means that like, and I got these tips on TikTok. I wish I was genius enough to come and creative enough to come up with this on my own. But before I go to Sephora and buy a new makeup, I run out of what I have, or like very close. And then I go buy it because I don't need all of this extra makeup. Especially, I think working from home has like put into perspective how little I need. As far as clothes and things like that.
No, very true.
And so I also want to like, it's hard because clothes for me, I love clothes. And I could keep buying them. But I think I'm going to like make a 6-month mark, like around my birthday. Like try to make it that long, unless obviously like I tear through a pair of shorts or something. But have I ever done that? No, I just buy shit to buy it. And
the trends change. And I feel like with women, it's so, because Connor asked me this question too. Like I went and bought 3 pairs of jeans the other day because I'm like, I don't have jeans that are the current style. Mine are all like mom jeans or skinny jeans, and that's not cool anymore. And I see these outfits that I want to duplicate, but I don't have the right pants for them. And he doesn't understand because he's a man, and men's styles, yes, while they do change a little bit, it's like pretty straightforward. Whereas women's fashion is evolving so much, and there is such a like focus on consumerism, like, oh, you need this, this is the new thing, this is the cool thing, these are out, this is in. And so I think it's really a good, beautiful thing to be
well,
mindful
and
of.
something Lauren brought up was like creating like a wardrobe capsule. So like finding a pair of jeans that fit me really well, and that even if I spend triple the price than I normally would, I don't know. I just want to be more intentional with that, and because that leads into like our family income, and how much we're saving. One thing, sorry, and you can. No, I feel like I'm going on now because I feel very passionate about this.
I love
because
it. I love passion.
What you do is you write down, and I haven't done this yet, goals for yourself every month. So like at the end of January, I'll see like what did I spend unnecessarily, and if I reached my goal, then I reward myself with something. But like the reward is something more of an experience. So I can still spend money, and I can still go treat myself, but it may be in a different way. So like someone was like, you go get a facial, or you buy concert tickets, and yes, I know those are expensive, but I think about, so I'm like, okay, at the end of the month, I spend $150 on a facial. That is still cheaper than 2 Target trips that I take.
Yeah, so true.
Because if I put it into perspective that way, I'm like, so I am still spending money, but I'm like still experiences, or like with the family, we go do something. Versus me just buying like more shit that I'm going to get rid of in 6 months.
Right.
So that's one of my goals. And then another one of my goals, I mean, my kids are fine, but I want to refocus on like their nutrition. Cause I feel like right now it just gets to the point where you're like, it's easy, just like hand them whatever. And, I focused on my nutrition this past year so much. I'm like, the least I can do is like try to do it for them. But also it's hard because you know how it is. Like, I don't want to restrict too much because then eventually they'll binge when they're older. I'm going to figure that one out, but I want to at least focus on it. Like, the Eggo waffles that I buy Addie that she's literally addicted to. I told her like, I'm going to start making waffles for you. And so she still gets waffles, but they just have a little bit more nutrition.
Yeah. Well, or even like, to me, are you done with yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No,
sorry,
please.
I don't want to, I'm like,
I just keep going.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just don't want to interrupt you. I'm going to piggyback off of that because one of my goals, for the new year is about food for sure. And like, I'm leaning into the RFK Jr. of it all. Like slowly I'm finding my way to like, well, he's just like, I mean, I'm joking. I like some of his points. He's going to like wreak havoc on the FDA. Like that's one of his main points. And so I'm not saying that RFK is like perfect in all the ways. Like I think he's kind of a crazy person sometimes, but there are some things about like American food that it's like really, and when you start, I've just like let myself be ignorant to it because if I actually dive into what the changes are that I need to make, it's a full overhaul for like my life and how we eat and live. And it's like, you know, Skittles are banned by the EU, the European Union, because they're literally just little cancer pills.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to focus on, like, yes, nutrition, but a goal I'm kind of setting for myself. And I got a blank cookbook that I can write my stuff in.
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of borrowed that idea from Jackie from the Toast because hers is a binder, but I wanted something a little more compact. So I've got one that I can write in, and just like making recipes with whole ingredients is what I keep saying. Like, and that sounds kind of confusing, but what I mean is like,
no,
I am looking at like, if it's still, I'm making mashed potatoes and a vegetable and a meat, fine, but I'm making it. I'm not getting instant potatoes, which I don't really do very much, but like, or hamburger helper, like make the freaking sauce on your own. You can make things like cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, making my own pasta, like trying to kind of be able to source back the ingredients and kind of get as far away from preservatives as I can. Because that's kind of where I'm at. It's not even like it's health centered, but I think if you eliminate a lot of those like preservative parts, it's not so much like a diet plan that I want to do or like no carb, low carb. I want to start eating more protein because like Travis and I my brother-in-law and I were having a big conversation about protein and like how humans don't eat enough protein. And so we all are vitamin deficient and gaining weight because we're eating all these starches, blah, blah, blah. But I want to make things out of like from scratch, basically.
Well, and when it's whole food, you're nourishing your body. So
yes,
I like to think, I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but like if you do have like a steak and like all these mashed potatoes and this like vegetables, yes, I know like you have to still watch your portions, blah, blah, blah. But that is still better to me, 1000% than what I did today of picking up like Whataburger, you know? And there are going to happen.
It's going to happen.
But it's becoming aware of it. Is a big deal. That's a huge mind shift.
I mean, we joke about it. Connor and I definitely order Uber Eats like way too much. And I'm trying to get away from that. Because like if I make, like you said, if I make mashed potatoes at home, they're still so much healthier.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes with butter and cream.
Yeah,
and
you can
sour
put
cream.
all the good stuff in.
It's still better than ordering fucking Taco Bell.
Yep.
And like maybe calorically it looks a little different, but the actual ingredients, that's what like I feel like I'm becoming more aware of right now is like what ingredients and like what's added sugar and added dyes and added whatever. And it's like when you look at it, I don't know. I think in 6 months I'm gonna like maybe go full crazy and like buy my own cow. Like,
hey, you know,
like
I'm right there with
buy
you.
my own cow, like not to raise it, but just like the meat, and like local eggs. Like I think that's kind of the direction I'm heading towards because I'm just like starting to freak out a little bit. However, I did make banana and chocolate chip muffins for my dear darling son who loves muffins, specifically the Little Bites muffins that are full of everything I just mentioned, all the preservatives, xanthan gum.
That's why they're the good stuff for them. You know, they love those things.
Truly addicted to them. So I'm like, have tried to make him muffins. I made some one time out of protein waffle mix. Disgusting, terrible. These I made with bananas that we had that were pretty ripe. So I was like, I'll just make some muffins. They're actually dank, so good. Try to give them to him. He goes, bleh, and then goes into the pantry and grabbed Little Bites.
I do think when you start to phase those things out, when they're not an option in the house,
that's
because
where,
like with Addie with candy, my God. But
that's where we're headed towards is like, it's going to just have to be not an option.
Yeah.
And I'm mad at myself
you
for
can't.
letting it get to this point because now it's like going to be harder to pump the brakes, but it just is what it is.
No, you can't be mad at yourself on that because we're all learning, number one. And there's so much to learn and you can only take one step at a time. And it's better to do it now than try to reverse all of this in 30 years.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say like give yourself a lot of grace there because that's what it's just like such a process. And like you said, whenever like America is full of all of these chemicals and
how much
dyes,
easier is it to buy a bag of sour cream and onion chips that he like is going to eat and is obsessed with than it is to like make my own chips that I tried to make my own potato chips that didn't turn out. So now I got these shitty weird potato you know, it's like,
I totally
just have to learn these like staple things that he'll eat. And I think I'm going to feel a lot better and we're all going to feel better. But that I say this every year, but like getting a little more of a fitness regime. Yeah. Less than 0 is the goal.
Hey.
Less than 0.
And you've already made strides from last year where you had your walking path.
Yes.
And like, I feel like it's always one step at a time.
Yes. And I'm very much like, I am a gradual person. Like you can't make me do anything cold turkey or dive into something. I will freak out and rebel. So stuff like that. And then, I mean, continuing therapy and all the things, being more intentional with my time with Connor.
That's a big one. Because there's so many like at home date nights we can do, but honestly, by the time we get the kids to bed, like we're exhausted and we're like
sit and scrolling
on our phone, or I'm reading my book or like whatever, but I'm not talking. We're not interacting. And I think that definitely like that focus on family comes in of like, you know, my husband is a part of that and like giving him more like more of my time and my attention.
Well, I think
it's hard.
Connor and I, Fielding was taking a nap, he took a late nap yesterday. So Connor and I were eating dinner and I had like made dinner and we're sitting down at the table and eating together. And I was like,
that's
oh my
so
God.
Nice.
I'm like, we don't ever do this anymore. Like we sit at the table whenever we've got people over.
Yeah.
But if it's just, and he goes, wow, we haven't had a dinner just the two of us in a long time. And like we've gone out to eat and like I've been on dates, but we do not prioritize like sitting at the table as a family. And I told Connor, like, that's something I think is really important because I think he and I both grew up in homes where it was really important to eat at the table.
I grew up that way too.
That's how you get kids not to do drugs. And like, I don't know, Fielding's on the verge. I've seen a mischievous look in his eyes.
I mean, you just never know. I will say, and this is something we still work on, but like I have a rule most of the time I abide by it, but I like to remind Matt about it more. When we're like, cause we sit at the table every night to have dinner, honestly, cause it's easier to clean up. Like that's why, but now we're in a routine of it, but like no phones at the table.
I agree.
Because I told Matt, I said, the thing is, if they see us on our phones at the table when they're teenagers, we're going to be pissed at them because they're on the phone, but guess what? We've modeled for them their whole life.
And on top of that, like whenever you really think about it, at its core, what is being on the phone? It's disassociating. It's not being present. And so I think to your point about family stuff, it's like one of my big goals is being present. And kind of like breaking that addiction I have of like my phone and like just scrolling mindlessly. And like I think that's okay occasionally, but like it is truly an addiction. And
it
like,
is.
And I'll be like, oh, I don't have time to cook these like more elaborate meals or make my own pasta or make my own sourdough.
I have time to, because I do this. I have time to scroll on TikTok for an hour.
How many times a day am I sitting there and just like, and so it's like that kind of stuff, just kind of taking a step back from.
How do you think you break that though? Because so I've noticed how much I go to grab it to just scroll because I was doing that challenge with the Cat G Fitness, and one of her things was you don't scroll on social media until an hour after you wake up. And I did not realize how much
that's the first thing
I would roll over, get my phone.
That is the first thing
my kids are talking to me. I'm on my phone, and I was like, "Whoa, that really opened my eyes." But so that's a habit I want to stick with. Because I'm still doing it throughout the day. So I'm like, okay, I've got to break it. But it is an addiction. And I think everyone struggles with it.
I know.
The only thing I can think is like deleting the app off my phone. But like, it's also a way to, because we send like TikToks back and forth. And like,
I think there's a balance for me personally, deleting the app off my phone feels too restrictive. And like I talked to our therapist about this before, like with drinking, like, how do I eliminate that? And she's like, it's not about eliminating, it's about replacing. And so I think that's the thing with like social media. It's replacing the good behaviors. Cause like when I was cooking yesterday or cooking, like making those stupid muffins this weekend, I wasn't on my phone cause I was doing something. And so I think it's just like finding things to replace it. And it's okay still if you're scrolling on your phone a little bit, but it's like also having that mental check of like something I talk to Connor about frequently is like, hey, when Fielding like wants your attention, you look up and you respond to him because
eye contact,
it's
and respond
so important because it's so easy for us to just sit there on our phones and be like, yeah, whatever. But it's like at the end of the day, they don't have their own phone, so they're watching you.
And guess what? They're learning from that.
They're learning,
which I'm so guilty of.
For sure.
It's like you're preaching to the choir right now.
Yeah, they're just learning not to be
struggle.
present and not to be aware. And it's like, you know, we didn't get social media until we were older. And I definitely worry, like, as a teacher, I saw it in the classrooms all the time where these kids are truly addicted to their technology. And like, it wasn't even as bad as it is now at anywhere close when we were kids. So I'm like, I just want to teach that kind of mindfulness, but that's tricky. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But those are kind of my like steps. It's more going to be a more holistic healing year. I'm also going into my 30s. Like I'll be 30 in June, and I'm really excited. I feel like I like have kind of been maturing more lately. I'm stepping into a new facet of myself. Therapy is obviously helping a ton with that. I'm learning so much about myself. And that's that on that.
Yeah. So I would like to know, like, we'll have to put something up on Instagram. Like, what are other people doing for their New Year's resolutions? And then like, how do you, because for me, I'm going to do those check-ins, and I also have like accountability partners. Like we get to talk about it. But I also have like Grace and Lauren. Like we're planning on doing like a little FaceTime call and doing like a little vision board or something. If you want in on that. But just like something to like kind of get you excited because you've got to, you know, it's like you've got to check in with yourself and like, how are you doing on these goals? And it's like if I were goal setting with kids at school on behavior things, it's like you check in and then guess what? You can modify the goal if you need to. But if you just pretend like it doesn't exist, then you're falling off. So
for sure.
I think like January 31st, I'll check in and like see how am I doing on these things that I said that I was going to do, especially probably the social media one and like that intentional family time too. So
I love that.
I mean, my low spend.
Well, I just
because that's a problem.
That's
for me.
a big one. I just think that being aware of it is so important. You know, I had a realization the other night, and this just came to me. Like my mother-in-law would say, like God got a hold of me for a second, but it was so interesting because I was laying in bed. And my parents had come over and we'd played cards and I had drank too much wine and I was feeling so bad about myself the next morning. And I was just like, I just am feeling so terrible because I know I wasn't like helpful with Fielding and I wasn't a good wife to Connor in that time. I wasn't a present parent. I wasn't a present daughter. And why was I doing that? And I had this like kind of epiphany, I guess, that these habits and these behaviors that I get into because of anxiety, right? Like I have anxiety and that's not a novelty. Everyone that's a millennial first daughter and a mom in the world has anxiety, right? But these habits that I engage in due to my anxiety, like drinking and like avoiding and like laying in bed and not talking and like doom scrolling, those behaviors that I do to avoid what I'm anxious about are actually like self-fulfilling prophecies for what I'm anxious about. right? Because like I'm so scared, like on a subconscious level. I don't think this frequently. Connor doesn't do anything to make me think this, but like I have dreams all the time about Connor like leaving me or not loving me anymore, any of those things. And I had this realization where I was like, but what I do when I'm feeling my most anxious and allowing that anxiety to control me, like drinking or like being depressive and laying in bed and avoiding, those are the things that would eventually potentially lead to him not loving me. Right? And like, I don't think that's the case, but like, I'm so worried about not being a good mom. Well, the behaviors I engage in via anxiety, with anxiety being my excuse, like drinking, like laying in bed, those are things that will make me not a good mom. And it was this like really, it was this interesting like shift in my way of thinking, because I was like, wow, I have control. I'm running the ship and I'm steering the ship and running the show.
Yeah.
Not anxiety.
Yeah.
And so it's like, since then,
and you have choices.
Yes. And like, I ultimately am in control. And that's like the thing that I crave in life is control all the time because of my anxiety, but because of the behaviors I engage in of being lazy and drinking and whatever, those are things that take control away. Yeah. So is this really like powerful realization? And I don't know, it's just like a good time of year to have that. No, I feel like awesome. Really in control of like myself, I guess. And that's not to say like, because I've had this battle with like drinking alcohol and not drinking alcohol. And that's not to say that someday I won't drink alcohol at all anymore. But I think realizing that like I can control when I stop. Yeah. The only person that can control that truly is me. Yeah. So it's like knowing my limits and anything, knowing my limitations and what kind of friend I want to be and what kind of mom and husband and wife I want to be. So anyways, I just had that realization. It was really like powerful. So I wanted to.
And it helps stop that spiral. And that way you're not spiraling and you know, you just take back control. Yes. And you have those actions. Like, and it sounds like you have, due to therapy, a lot of coping strategies now that will help you do that. Because that's what I'm still learning is like these coping strategies and how do, you know, whenever I'm feeling anxious. Like, and now I'm in the stage, I guess, where I'm able to like recognize how I'm feeling, because I wasn't ever able to do that. Where it's like, okay, my heart's racing. I feel really like, angry right now. And then now my next step that I'm getting towards is like, okay, but how do I guess, take back that control of like when I'm in that situation, not letting it control me. So I love that. The big
thing for me whenever I'm having those anxious feelings, and I had told my mom this like maybe, a couple months ago before I even started therapy, but figuring out when I'm feeling those like super anxious, angry, sad, depressed feelings, trying to link it back to like what initially started that feeling is so helpful to me. And like everyone's different, but that helps me be like, okay, I'm feeling angry right now because someone cut me off in traffic today and I screamed and it was actually my fault and then I'm ashamed. And it's like, oh, so I'm not actually angry, I'm ashamed. That's the underlying emotion, and it's really powerful. And I mean,
and having the reason there.
And our therapist is really good about like not being so hard on yourself, because I am extremely hard on myself with everything.
It feels like she's like so forgiving whenever I say something. No, literally. But then it's like, oh wait, no, maybe that's just like a normal reaction.
No, literally. Well, because I'll be like, why am I such a wimp? Why can't I do this? And she's like, so you're not a wimp. Like, this is a normal. And I'm like, oh. But I'm like, why don't I have courage? And she's like, think of it the opposite way. Yeah. Why don't you have empathy? Or why do you have so much empathy for this person that's doing this thing? And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's just reframing that and giving myself that grace. That's another thing, like going into the new year that I'm interested in doing is just like giving myself more grace. That's hard. And it's like, I think that it seems like I do in certain facets because I'm like self-indulgent in some ways, but it's like,
I think it's an overcompensation though sometimes.
Well, sometimes it's not even self-indulgent. It's actually self-destruction. Yeah. It's just masked. And I think that's like one of those things that the people around you can't necessarily see that that's what's happening, but it is internally, and maybe it's not something you're aware of, but it's just like understanding your motives and just, it's like being present in your own body, in your own actions, and not letting things be out of your control. Jennifer she bought all of her kids, my mother-in-law bought all of her kids a book for Christmas, like a self-help one, but she was like, it's for the family, so like it's for the spouses too. Yeah. And I cannot remember what it's called right now. I'll have to remember later. I think it's called like You Are a Badass. But she said in the book that the author says you can start out fucked up, but choosing or continuing to be fucked up is your choice. Yep. And that is like such a good way Like, you don't have to start out how you're going to hold out. You got to like learn yourself and make those changes, and you can't just accept the status quo of who you are at this moment as who you're going to be forever.
Yep.
And I think that's really powerful.
Not sure what's going on out there. One of the kids got a hold of the lock button.
I don't know. My back door's beep, 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 beep. So anyways, that's our
that book leads us into some really exciting news that we have going on. We are starting our own book club, which I've never even been a part of one. And
Me neither.
I had to ask, like, hey, so how does a book club work? Like, I don't even know.
We're learning. Yeah. And so if you're I really want a way to include people that don't live here. Like, I wonder if we could like Zoom call them in or something if they wanted to join. Anyways, if you're local to where we live, then you are definitely welcome to join. If there are people that are interested that don't live here, we'll try to figure out a way to get you in. But we want to start a book club with some, ladies that live around here.
Yep.
And basically what that's going to look like is we pick a book once a month, someone hosts. It'll be me this first time as my plan. And we can do like, little snacky snacks. You can do a potluck style if you want. You can bring wine if you want. If you don't have to. And we are just going to like sit in a big circle and chit chat about the book we read and what we liked, what we didn't like. And if that leads to random conversations, then we can do that too. And then we would pick our next book for the next month and decide who's going to host. So that's our plan for what it's going to look like. Now, that's an ever-evolving thing. We're not going to there will be no guidelines. I will not be signing like a
anything about us. It's like, you never
show up or don't. But yeah, so we're between two books.
Yes.
For our choices.
Thanks to you. You had these ideas.
Yes. And now that I'm saying it though, I can't remember the author of the second book. Will you look that up?
Yes.
Do you have your phone?
No, I don't.
Okay, it's fine. Never mind. I'll just say it.
I mean, people can Google it.
Yeah. Okay.
You can Google the author.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bitch. So our do you want to join a book club or not?
No, literally. We're so welcoming and inviting.
Idiot. Use Google. Anyways, our two options are going to be The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Really popular book, so I don't know if it's going to be like too read across the board. I have not read it yet.
Yeah, same.
But everyone that I've ever talked to that has read it has loved it. And I believe I know they're making a movie.
Christmas 2025. I looked it up.
Yes. Sydney Sweeney is going to be in it. And Amanda.
So we both said it wrong and we Googled it.
Seyfried.
Amanda Seyfried. Yeah.
Seyfried. I said Seyfried.
And I said Seyfried. So
Yeah.
and it was a combo.
It was a combo. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, so Amanda Seyfried is going to play the wife, and I think Sydney Sweeney is like the housemaid person. Yeah. So should be interesting. So
I feel like your brother's going to want to join our book club now because
so we can talk about
all he puts on his Instagram story is how in love with Sydney Sweeney he is. But so we have that book, and then we have
that book is one option, and then the other option is a book called Night Bitch, and there is a movie that just came out with Amy Adams.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and I think it's on Hulu, but it shows on Disney Plus.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, is there
I
no
know.
way?
I'm really not appreciating that Hulu and Disney have combined their selections.
No, because I don't want my kids
I don't want American Horror Story to pop up where he could click it if he was in his room.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways.
Side note.
Separate topic. But I haven't watched that movie yet, but it's more like a symbolic. It sounds kind of weird on its face because I think it's about like a stay-at-home mom turning into like a werewolf basically. But I think it's more about the symbolism of what it takes to be a stay-at-home mom and sacrificing your career. And I think it's more about like the modern struggles of women and having it all and all those things. So two options there. We're going to put a poll up on Instagram. And again, sorry, I don't know the author of Night Bitch, but I will
remember, Google it.
Remember, use your knowledge. But I will look that up later and we'll post a poll on our story so we can choose between The Housemaid or Night Bitch.
Yes. And then starting after January, we'll agree
we're
together.
We're going to release this episode on January 1st.
Yep.
So we will release our poll on January 1st.
Yep. And then we'll schedule.
And then we will schedule.
I think it's a Harper hair actually.
Can you see it?
I could see it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it was but I didn't want to bring attention to it, But I was thinking, how can you not feel that?
I got it.
Yeah.
It was a Harper hair. Oh my God.
I'm really excited though.
I know, me too.
The only thing I have to figure out is how am I going to tandem read my series that I'm on and this, but again, using my time more intentionally. So instead of scrolling, I can pick up a book.
Yes.
So I'll figure it out. I'm excited.
And these books are to me, book clubs are more about quick reads.
Yes.
Right? Like, I wouldn't, unless...
We don't need
this would be a next year thing if we were going to be like, we're all going to read Throne of Glass together. Because that would literally take 8 months.
I will say, Grace and I worked out together when we were back home, and she was like, who are you? Because I said, hey, I have a playlist for us. And I was like really excited about it, and I forgot she hasn't read the series.
Wait,
and
are you a nerd? Did you look up Throne of Glass?
The Spotify playlist that I've been listening to every time I work out is if Elaine Galanthius had a workout playlist.
I'm dead.
And Bridget goes, oh, can you send that to me? Because she's reading the series right now. You send it to me? Yes. It's so good. It's like just all like kind of women empowerment. It's just like really good, like beats, whatever to work out to.
The protagonist of that book series is such a badass. So it does make you pumped up. But I love that you...
I'm full throttled.
Express how much joy it brings me to make you this big of a nerd.
For Grace to say, like, who are you? Because I would have never.
Now, my next venture, which like you're in the second to last book.
I am. Yes, and I'm literally, so I'm almost done. The book that I said I was going to finish when we were in Oklahoma.
I was like, you're almost done with the next book?
I wish. I'm almost done. I was like, like visiting with family, like too much to finish.
Really getting in the way.
Actually borrowed Tower of Dawn. I have that one from Bridget because I had her bring it because I was like, I can't go home without. So I'm going to read that one.
Night, so.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm really excited.
And then you have one more book.
If you have not read Throne of Glass series, like please.
And I know fantasy, if you're not a fantasy reader, you're like, fantasy
no,
for
it's
weirdos.
So good. It is not.
If you like if you ever even had an inkling of liking Hunger Games or
Which
Twilight,
y'all know, like I was obsessed with. I talked about
this is triple.
It is so good.
I'm so...
And the book that I'm like almost finished with did get a little
frisky,
a little spicy.
Yeah, Throne of Glass, you're not getting real spice until literally book 5.
But then when it comes on,
woo-wee. Now, the next...
on the way to Oklahoma,
oh God.
He's like bragging, and rightfully so. So he started last Christmas. You actually are the one who got him started on it. Was the Bible in a Year challenge. Yeah. So he's almost done with it, but he like pauses his Bible and he's like bragging to me about like how much like how far, and I was like, well, you see, like just big
spoilers. Courtney, what the
fuck? Can you bleep that?
Yes, I'll bleep it. My God. I mean, the fact that you're even saying the main female character's name.
Okay, you have to bleep that part.
Which you don't find out her real name until book fucking 3, and you're just throwing it out there. So if someone picks up Throne of Glass today, they're going to be like, who the fuck are they talking about?
Okay, bleep that part.
I'm going to have to bleep the last 5 minutes.
Basically, I was just saying, let me restart. Basically, I was just saying. Like,
I hate you.
I was
Matt's
like,
reading the Bible.
Sorry.
And you're reading
You're
really
a little
spicy.
busy with the Bible. Like, I'm
reading smut.
I'm in the middle of my spicy part right now.
You have entered the smut world. And you really haven't even because...
I haven't read ACOTAR yet, so.
With Courtney, I'm
like,
so excited for you
to read ACOTAR. I'm literally so geared up.
I'm so excited. Like, because ACOTAR, I read before Throne of Glass. So I was like fully ready, but like ACOTAR...
Sorry, I'm still nervous laughing.
I mean, you're literally a dumbass. Literally a dumbass.
Okay, but you read ACOTAR.
I read ACOTAR first.
Yeah.
I think I read it twice before I read Throne of Glass. And oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready, bitches.
But there's like Throne of Glass has some things that ACOTAR does not.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Throne of Glass it's just such a good series.
It's so good.
I cannot recommend it enough if you're looking for something that's going to hold you over for a little while.
So imagine you're me.
Mm-hmm.
And for years, you try to get your friend to read the series. And everyone around you, your husband, your friend's husband, your friend, are all clowning on you about reading your fairy porn. And imagine that's what you're reading. And you're alone in this.
Mm-hmm.
And then years later, your friend gets it.
Yep.
That's where I'm at personally.
I had my realization. I don't know what to say.
It's amazing.
I had my upcoming. Like, I don't know.
Awakening.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think.
My upcoming. She grew up, kids.
I had my awakening.
I have things to talk about for watching. How long have we been recording? I feel like I always ask that at 41 minutes.
45.
Oh my God. Literally, I have a radar. I started watching Landman.
Yes.
So good.
Thoughts.
So good. Wait, have you not read it? I mean, watched it?
I've watched 2 episodes and I have thoughts.
What, the daughter?
it's really throwing me off.
The
She's
daughter's
supposed to be in high school. Number one, she looks like she's 30. She dances around in her underwear with her dad. She slept in the same bed. It was like a really weird, they were trying to push a really weird agenda.
Yes. I have no defense.
But I said that to someone else and they said, but like they really like the oil rig part of it.
I like everything but the daughter. The daughter situation
and even the wife, ex-wife.
Yeah.
They're just annoying. Like, why can you not make her seem like intelligent?
I like them. No, not the daughter. But honestly, the daughter did say something in one of the closer episodes, like more recent episodes, where, which I don't think this is a super spoiler, but she was like trying to get
spoiler, huh?
She was trying to get with this guy who's a quarterback at a school out in like Midland, and he's asking her like what she's going to go to college for, and she's like philanthropy, and he's like, well, why the hell are you going to go to philanthropy? And she goes, because I'm going to marry an NFL player, and it looks good for wives to be able to do philanthropy and shelter their money through like
I mean, she knows that part.
And I was like, damn, honestly, like maybe this has all been a ruse because she wants a certain type of life, and like as shitty as that is, it's kind of like interesting to not think of her as unintelligent, more as like strategic and like ambitious, because she's kind of ambitious in a route that's not the normal route. So yes, I agree there is a hypersexualization of the daughter in a way that does make me a little uncomfortable. Does make me feel better that the actress is closer to our age. She's not actually 17, but I don't know why Taylor Sheridan feels the need to put such an emphasis.
Well, sorry for the barking in the background. You're definitely going to hear that.
Shut up! Anyways.
You can resume.
I wonder how loud that's going to be. So yeah, I don't like that part, but I like the story overall. Yeah. And it kind of, our husbands don't do that necessarily.
Yeah.
But they do work in like these intense, gritty, hard natural gas jobs. And so if they're
they're represented.
Yeah, it almost, not that I didn't have respect. Respect's the wrong word, but it like gives me kind of an insight, I think, into like what Connor's life kind of looks like at work, because it's so different, and it is dangerous. Yeah, not that level of dangerous. Like I don't think anyone's necessarily getting blown up where he works. Knock on wood. What?
No, I'm just.
Why are you looking?
No, I was just looking up and trying.
Were you thinking of One Oak?
Yeah.
Oh! Let me bleep that.
Yeah.
Bleep. You should, Courtney. Shit. The episode of Bleeps. Hope everyone wants beep, beep, beep. Oh my God, title. The episode of Bleeps. Welcome to season 2. We're not sharing anything. Just the whole episode's one.
You have to show up to our book club to get what we were actually talking about.
Matt's old company people were legitimately getting blown up.
Yeah.
So, and Matt almost got murked one time too.
Yeah, scary. I mean, Matt has been.
I said murked, which made it not seem not serious, but he actually was almost. Yeah, literally killed.
Very close call, and that's whenever I knew, like, you need to get out of here.
Yeah, you were like, let's move to Ohio,
and then we moved to Ohio. So,
and then you met the love of your life.
Duh, like
me.
That it was all in God's plan.
Thank you, Lord.
Matt had to almost get
86
that way. We could meet,
obviously. But yeah, no, I mean, there are definitely plenty of places. We're lucky our husbands work for, I would say, a fairly safe company.
I feel
much
like
safer than the average bear.
I send him off to work, you know, I lay out his clothes every morning and I pack his lunch, and I'm just kidding. I send him off to work have you seen those TikToks where it's like, I wake up at 4 a.m. for my blue collar man?
My morning as a blue collar worker's wife.
Meanwhile,
Shut up!
Matt's literally leaving and I'm still in bed, like dead asleep for 2 more hours.
Connor's leaving and I'm like, if you don't close the closet and turn the light off, I'm going to end your fucking life. Goodbye. Like,
but we send them off and like I feel safe every day.
Honestly, I don't ever feel worried about the job itself, which may be naive. I feel more worried about the amount they drive.
Yeah.
The driving is what scares me.
And when they're really tired too.
Yes, that scares me more than the job itself.
That's so true.
That's more my fear.
But you feel like that represented.
Well, I just feel like it gives me insight into like what their day-to-day looks like, and because we don't get to see that. So it's just interesting. But I like that. And then Connor and I caught up on Landman. So we started watching Lioness, which is another Taylor Sheridan show with Zoe Saldana, who I adore.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do. The one that's in Courtney. Literally, yes, you do.
don't know her name.
The one, obviously. The one that was in that show with the she's black. Mm-hmm. She's like beautiful, long hair. She was the one that was in that show she marries the Italian guy and he dies. Spoiler.
Oh.
And she's also Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
Yeah, you like her.
Yes, the Italy, what was that? It was on Netflix.
I don't know what that was called.
And I was bawling.
Connor was weeping. We were all weeping.
Oh my God.
I can't even think of what the name of that show is.
Yeah, so kind of actually, I regress. I do know who she is.
No, like obviously. Like I know you know who she is. We watched a whole fucking show where she was the main character.
Okay, so she's in Lioness.
Yes, she's the main character.
Okay.
She's like badass, kind of FBI adjacent agent person.
What's it on?
Paramount Plus. It's a Taylor Sheridan show.
Okay.
Nicole Kidman's in it a little bit. Mm-hmm. The guy, this is a very niche reference. If you watch Yellowstone, mm-hmm. The guy that played the oldest brother of the Yellowstone family, his name is Lee. He dies in the first episode of Yellowstone. That's like one of the things.
Oh, yes,
mm-hmm.
yes.
Did you watch that one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Him, super cute. He's Zoe Saldana's husband in the show. And he's amazing. And I love him. And I love their dynamic. It's so cute. It's such a good show. And Lioness is like a program that was started. They talk about it in the beginning. It was started by the CIA, I think, as a way to get women to basically be like secret agents.
Oh my God.
Would go, it's real.
This sounds so
They would
good.
go undercover and they like infiltrate. They become friends with like the wives and the sisters and the aunts. And then they find the targets.
Okay.
And that's how they were like getting into like Taliban things. So it's really, it's really interesting.
Okay, I'm definitely going to watch that.
It's so good. And there's 2 seasons and they're both out completely.
Do you feel like Taylor Sheridan is actually like pretty talented then?
Courtney, Connor and I talk about this all the time. When does he sleep? He has Yellowstone.
I didn't really, and all of the
Yellowstone, 1883, 1923, Tulsa King, Mayor of Kingstown.
I don't know.
We watched Mayor of Kingstown, pretty good. First season was good. And then he's got Lioness, Landman.
That's insane.
And he acts in them too.
Yes.
And he's like creating a show about the 4 Sixes. He owns the 4 Sixes ranch in Texas, which is a huge ranch.
Yeah.
No, and he's like a working rancher too. I mean, I doubt he works very much now. I've heard he's
but
kind
he
of
was,
a dickhead.
though, right?
Yeah, no, he's like very talented. I mean, he's in Yellowstone as like a trainer and they show him riding.
Yes.
And he really, I mean, he's kind of the tastemaker in like, I think middle America because like he put to me Zach Bryan on the map. I didn't know who Zach Bryan was until I heard a Zach Bryan song in Yellowstone.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's how I heard of Zach Bryan. And then like a lot of actors he puts in there. I mean, Cole Hauser that plays Rip in Yellowstone.
Oh yeah.
Like weird guy, not like cast as the bad guy usually because he was so like not hot and kind of nerdy and weird. And now he's like this sex symbol for like a rancher. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he kind of
he knows the vision that he's going after and he's able to
finds
execute.
People. I mean, has it worked out well with like Kevin Costner? No. Because Kevin Costner was kind of a douchebag. And by kind of I mean fully.
Which I hate to hear because he was one of my heroes.
I'm gonna have to separate the art from the artist. It hurts me physically.
I am. I can't vilify Kevin Costner.
He literally wasn't even in the last half of the season of a show that he was the main character for because he was such an asshole.
Can you imagine being like that?
And then he's like playing the victim on a podcast like, sir, get your ass to work. What are you doing?
You got to retire somewhere.
John Dutton, get your ass to work. Yeah. So anyways, Connor and I are like, how does Taylor Sheridan have this much brain power to come up with these stories? Insane.
But it sounds like he's spinning them off from his experiences and the fact that he's gathered now these people that are big shows of it or big fans of his shows because they represent them.
Yes.
It's a huge deal for that.
Well, and he's starting a new show. I don't think it's come out. I don't think the pilot's aired yet, but it's about I'm gonna mess this up. It's about the first Black like deputy sheriff person in like Wild West times, like in Oklahoma. And it's like someone that we know the name. If you heard the name, you'd be like, that's who it is. And they like history whitewashed him. Like no one knew he was a Black guy.
Wow.
Not no one, but like we didn't realize that's who this was. And so they're going to make a whole show about his life and like being like a Black police officer,
sheriff,
quote unquote sheriff, in like the Wild West times,
that's
trying
amazing.
to control this territory, so he's telling really interesting stories about things that aren't typically discussed. Because like Landman, when have we ever seen a show about people that are working on oil rigs.
Yes, literally. And to get what's the main character? What's his name?
Oh, Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes,
to get my life, my prince. I love.
Come to find out, that was like my mom's crush growing up was Billy Bob Thornton. Like she loved.
That's so questionable because he really didn't get famous till the 90s.
Well, in the 90s, yes. Growing up in the 90s.
Okay.
In her 20s. Okay.
I was going to say, so you were born in 94.
Yes.
Okay,
but like somewhere in there, wherever.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know the year, but
well, I'm just saying, he wasn't famous when she was a kid.
Yeah.
They were born almost the same year.
Oh, is he really that? What?
No, he's older. He's older than
he
your
seems
mom.
older. Yeah. Anyways,
What
just
year was
a
your
fun
mom born?
fact.
69?
69, yeah.
I'm so good at dates. I'm Rain Man.
Just a fun fact, though, that like he's been around forever.
No,
and
for sure.
Like,
I went down a Billy Bob Thornton wormhole because I was curious about it.
Yeah.
And in his life, and he was like a fast food manager until like the late 80s because he wanted to be an actor but kept getting like weird gigs, and then he finally took off late 90s.
I wonder what his first like what is he well known for?
It was like Blade or something random. It was something that I didn't care about.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I loved Billy Bob Thornton until I watched the show on Hulu. It's an FX show, Fargo, season 1. Oh,
he was on something.
God.
He was on some sort of lawyer show that I really liked.
I love him.
It was a series that came out.
He is the perfect like old angry person.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't seen, not that I haven't given you enough recommendations, but if you haven't seen season 1 of Fargo,
yeah.
Holy
I need to finish. I mean, I would have to literally start over.
That is one of mine and Connor's favorite shows we've ever watched. After season 1, they're all like, it's kind of like American Horror Story, right? Like every season's different.
Yeah.
But I like that because it's concise. Mm-hmm. And if they never make another episode, it's done.
Season 1 of Fargo has the redhead, the Jesse Plecker.
Mm-mm.
Jesse, no?
Yes, that's who you're talking about. That's not till season 3.
Oh. How did I end up on season 3? I swear I'm gonna have to rewatch this.
Kirsten Dunst's husband, and they're married on the show.
Yes. Okay,
no,
somehow I ended up on season 3.
Is Billy Bob Thornton, who plays like a hitman kind of, and he's but he's like so Midwest because it's filmed in like Minnesota, and Connor and I like had a crisis one time where we thought everyone had a Minnesotan accent for a little while. Like we couldn't unhear it because we just watched so much Fargo.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Do we have Minnesotan accents? Like, it was very." It got weird for a second, and I'm really thankful that we went through that together.
Yeah. Bonding experience.
It's got Tom Hanks' son, Colin Hanks.
Okay, somehow I missed season 1 and only watched season 3.
You would recognize more of the people.
The redheaded lady that's like. I mean, she's in like kind of dark red. She's like a little heavier set, a little bit. She was in the season I watched too, I think. Like, if you saw her face, you would know
You're giving me like almost nothing to go off of.
Like, I see her
eye
face.
color.
I see her face.
Can I get an eye color?
She might actually have brown hair, not red hair. So let me just hit you up after.
The thing is, though, that you will give me that little, and I will still guess who you're talking
Usually
about most
you will,
time.
yeah.
I have.
You failed the test, so
I have no idea.
I'm gonna pull her up
who
after
you're
this.
talking about. The problem is that you probably also don't know who you're talking about. You don't even know what hair color she is.
I do.
Okay.
I just,
Turtling.
who knows if she's even on Fargo.
No, literally. Zoe Saldana. I don't know who that is. Yes, you do. Literally, yes, you do.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, any whoosies.
I have no TV recommendations, so
I was trying to think of the legwork.
Well, I was trying to think of the last thing that I watched, and I honestly cannot remember.
Well, I have done more watching.
Oh, wait. I watched the new movie on Netflix with Jason Bateman, the suitcase one.
Oh my God. Carry on.
I
swear to fucking God, Courtney.
No, that one was
You started out with 0.
That one was so good.
That was really good. I liked that
Did
one.
you like it? What was your analysis?
I liked it.
Okay.
Jason Bateman, like...
he can be in anything, and he's great.
I love him.
He's great.
It was suspenseful.
It captured my attention.
The thing is, I'm such an empath. So, like, when characters die, I just, like, automatically think of, like, their families.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, certain people dying, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. Do we have to kill them?
Was it weird for you to hear the main guys, because I don't know any names, not Jason Bateman, the other one, him with the American accent?
Yes, because
it was so weird.
Such a thick, like, Cockney accent in like Kingsman, where he's like very intense.
And it was such a flat American accent.
I know.
I was very thrown off.
But then they talked about him being from England. in the beginning.
Oh, in the show?
Yeah, and I was like,
with a dry American accent.
Yeah, like he sounds like he's from Dallas.
Yeah, no, literally, it was like, but it was like no accent at all. It was just like flat.
You know, much less hot. Also, like
just make him English.
I'm gonna face shame him real quick. Cute guy, lots of wrinkles, and I thought like
I noticed that too.
Okay, like very kind of haggard, and I was like, how old is this guy? Like, is he cosplaying?
No, he's literally like
28-year-old. He's 35. He's young.
Yeah. Well, I thought
Why
that
he
would
like
have Botox.
Get Botox, baby girl.
I was really I noticed that too.
I know he just looked,
but Jason Bateman looked older in that, so it might have been like
I felt like they looked
the filter
the
they used over, the camera they used,
yeah.
whatever.
I just feel like Jason Bateman looks pretty hot, and he's like 20 years older,
and he's haggard, but still looks very good.
Yeah, but this guy, I think, because he seems also like, no disrespect, short.
What? Oh,
stout.
the Kingsman guy?
Yeah.
Well, but it's confusing because he has
boyish.
a baby face. He has a baby face with wrinkles.
Yes.
So you're boss baby. Like,
literally, he's boss baby.
It did throw me off a little. And then you threw in the American accent.
He is boss baby. He's Alec Baldwin. That's who plays boss baby. Oh my God, you cracked the code. No, it's just like, not to be like so hypocritical, and I wouldn't talk about a woman that way because I'm...
We're going to talk about a man
I'm a hypocrite,
way.
but like a man, like, baby, get some Botox.
Just get Botox. It's not
like
that
you
big
don't
of a
need
deal.
a full Botox. Like
he just needed like 1, 2,
just paralyze him a little bit. Like I'm not even saying you need no wrinkles, but like 35.
Yeah, but maybe that's like that.
What have you
British,
been through?
like
British,
that British
wrinkles.
Like maybe they don't believe in Botox. I don't know.
I don't think that's the case for a whole country, but maybe that's kind of a big leap from one actor. But yeah, totally. Yeah. The thing about the hypotheses that you come up with is that they're just so broad and like
I love to jump
based
to
on
conclusions.
No, literally. It's like one.
Have you met me in real life?
One piece of data. Conclusion.
Love a good conclusion.
Your sample size is 1, and you've jumped to the full conclusion every time, and it's like, well, let's take a step back. Like
it's
several.
So true.
Like let's
so true.
Let's back up 10 feet.
I mean, maybe I guess they do believe in Botox.
I mean, I think so. I think so. I don't know. Call me crazy.
Not very cultured around here. Just me though.
Yeah, not we.
You're like, do not include me in this.
You already tried to tell me that apes were more intelligent than me, so.
I was trying to cut where it was deep.
Party one. Anyways, yeah, I've been on the last book of that series I was reading.
Yeah.
For like, 2 weeks. I have not touched it.
You act like 2 weeks is like.
Yeah, but I haven't touched it in 2 weeks. Like,
yeah,
that's
okay.
bad. But I think if I pick it up, I'll finish it in a day. So I just need to
pick it up. I have a fuzz on my nose now.
It's probably hard for here.
I'm going to finish that book like tonight or by tomorrow. Like by the 1st, I'm finishing that book.
You literally have plans
tonight,
all day tomorrow.
I'm going to read like...
When?
After game night. Like I'm just going to stay up until 1 a.m. reading. Except, guys, The Abyss. I lost my book light that I just bought.
Okay, honestly, I lost my book light too.
Who is stealing our book lights? It's one of our kids. One of our kids found my book light.
If I had to
it's
guess,
probably Tucker.
If I had to guess, I was going to say my son.
Oh, I think it's
he hasn't been around
stashed somewhere, so I refuse to order another one.
I want to say, I just have a feeling that my book light is behind my dresser.
Yeah,
it just feels like where it is.
I should look. I looked behind my mirror, which is a stash point for Tucker. He has his little stash. Nowhere to be found. I refuse to order another one.
Yeah, obviously.
So
just suffer.
I have been using, instead of turning the overhead light on, I don't know why I never thought of this. I just turn on the flashlight on my phone and read that way. What? That was better than the
shadows. Why don't you use a lamp?
There were no lamps where we were.
Why do you have to read in bed? Go to a different room.
That's my quiet. That's my only quiet space, though. I can't read. Like, the thing about me is if there's like noises going around me, I can't concentrate.
But you're reading at 1 a.m. Who else is awake?
That's true. Yeah, I guess it's just like my comfort zone.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like just my comfort zone.
Okay, yeah. Just maybe like when we're like family focused next year, just like not the overhead light. Maybe I have a crazy tip. Buy a lamp for Rosie's house.
Yeah.
They're $10 at Target.
Yeah. And everywhere else we stay too. Just
what are you
I'm gonna bring 3 lamps.
Yeah. $30. Your family will thank you.
Except for my freaking book light. My book light was 15 and I lost it. That was my solution to everything instead of having to lug lamps around.
Well, I'm not saying you take the lamps with you, ding dong. I'm saying you leave them. You say, I'm staying in your bedroom and I thought you could use a lamp.
That's true. I could do that.
Think
or
about
find
me
my
as
book light.
Problem solver.
Or find my book light.
Yeah, problem solver, throw money at the problem. That's me. We're going to buy all the lamps.
What did you not hear about low spend?
Well, that doesn't start for another 2 days
I'm just
from
kidding.
this moment.
Yes, I did. Starts from another 2 days. Get all my purchases in real quick.
Now.
You have 2 more days
Just,
left.
Set up like Amazon purchases. Literally. Just make yourself an advent calendar for the whole year.
Yep.
That's how I would do it. It's called cheating the system, and the system is yourself.
Yeah, you said you have 2 more days. Get your Amazon order in.
Yeah. Low spending's not on my agenda this year necessarily, but
That's fine.
I'm always trying to be
You
a little
make
more
extra money,
conscious.
though. I don't. So.
Yeah, I do be out here making fat stacks. I did 5 haircuts today.
Yeah.
I didn't make fat stacks. I don't even think I made $200. But
You make extra cash, though.
I do be making extra
And my extra cash is depending on if I break my back trying to redo furniture. So, here we are. I got to watch those Amazon purchases.
Anyways,
Here we are.
I need to go get horizontal now.
Another episode down. We will see y'all next week because we'll be recording. Yeah,
We're back on our weekly schedule. We're not doing
back
wish-washy bullshittery anymore. Unless there is an emergency, we're going to be recording every week.
Yes.
We were really consistent in the beginning, and that's something I think that's another goal of 2025 is to actually release once a week because we were doing so well at that.
We were.
Holidays got
the holidays,
so busy.
but now we'll know for next year. Like now we can plan out vacation time for us.
Yeah. Can we take PTO from the podcast?
Yes, the husbands have to pay us to take PTO though. Literally. Real quick before we go, so if you are like thinking of your New Year's resolutions and self-care is one of those, highly recommend the Deeply Rooted. We have our discount code. Cheers to that. 10. I gave Grace some of the milk bath and I used some the other day and it was like luxurious. It smelled good and it also just like made your skin feel really soft too. And I tried the milk mask as well and loved that. So they have an Etsy and an Instagram, so look them up. Deeply Rooted.
Yeah. And also Cat G Fitness if you're looking for fitness goals and like a really affordable.
Oh, she's like $20 a month.
Yeah,
and
monthly
to me, that
program.
And so, okay, I know we're about to go real quick. I was like looking at with the low spin, I was looking at like all of our subscriptions we have and looking at like canceling some of them. And Matt was like, well, what about your workout? I said, I'm not canceling that. That's my health. Like $20 a month is nothing.
You skip 3 Starbucks or like literally one Chick-fil-A run and you're covered.
Yes.
Like,
and she does fun little challenges. Like if you're already a part of her program, you don't have to pay for the extra challenges. And it's just a fun accountability tool. So
Kat, if you're listening,
we love you. You're a hero.
And I also might join again.
I'm so excited.
I joined last January.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. Just keep trying.
It's cheaper than my $230 lifetime trip singular.
One time.
I am that I am.
You are who you are.
As I was like, you can't be that way. Reinvent yourself. I'm doing it.
That's okay. All right. Okay, we're going to log off and I'm going to go take a nap. So
sick. I'm going to go beat the water temple on Zelda.
Cool. Okay. All right. Cool plans, bro.
I'm really cool and have a lot of friends. So anyways,
all right.
We love you. See ya. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Bye.